If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. Of all things, I like books best. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. The present is theirs, the future, for which I really worked, is mine. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. What we now want is closer contact and better understanding between individuals and communities all over the earth, and the elimination of egoism and pride which is always prone to plunge the world into primeval barbarism and strife. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment. Everyone should consider his body as a priceless gift from one whom he loves above all, a marvelous work of art, of indescribable beauty, and mystery beyond human conception. And so delicate that a word, a breath, a look, nay, a thought may injure it. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Let the future tell the truth, and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs, the future, for which I have really worked, is mine. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution. But it contains certain known factors. We crave for new sensations but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6 and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation, and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being, and if we concentrate our minds on the truth, we become in tune with this great power. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible. The individual is ephemeral, races and nations come and pass away. But man remains. It's not the love you make. It's the love you give. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surrounding, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. My method is different. I do not rush into actual work. When I get an idea, I start at once building it up in my imagination. I change the construction, make improvements, and operate the device entirely in my mind. Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents. Most certainly, some planets are not inhabited, but others are, and among these there must exist life under all conditions and phases of development. Inventors don't have time for married life. So astounding are the facts in this connection, that it would seem as though the Creator, himself had electrically designed this planet. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races, and we are still far from this blissful realization. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Great moments are born great opportunity. As I review the events of my past life, I realize how subtle are the influences that shape our destinies. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of his creative brain. It is not in the shallow physical imitation of men that women will assert first their equality and later their superiority, but in the awakening of the intellect of women. The scientific man does not aim at an immediate result. He does not expect that his advanced ideas will be readily taken up. His work is like that of the planter, for the future. His duty is to lay the foundation for those who are to come, and point the way. Of all things I like books best. We are all one, only egos, beliefs, and fears separate us. When natural inclination develops into a passionate desire, one advances towards his goal in 7-league boots. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. One has to be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. A new idea must not be judged by its immediate results. One's salvation could only be brought about through his own efforts. Genius is its own passport, and has always been ready to change habitats until the natural one is found. Deficient observation is merely a form of ignorance and responsible for the many morbid notions and foolish ideas prevailing. Science is but a perversion of itself unless it has as its ultimate goal the betterment of humanity. Merciless is the law of nature, and rapidly and irresistibly we are drawn to our doom. Soon became convinced I was right and undertook the task with all the fire and boundless confidence of youth. We should effect a radical reform in the character of the food. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. All repeated acts or operations I performed had to be divisible by 3, and if I missed I felt impelled to do it all over again. Even if it took hours. All these observations fascinate us, and fill us with an intense desire to know more about the nature of these phenomena. Never trust a Jew. Now the soft-voiced gentle woman of my reverent worship has all but vanished. My mother was an inventor of first order and would, I believe, have achieved great things had she not been so remote from modern life and its multifold opportunities. I'm glad, Tesla quipped, that I am living in a place in which, though they can roast me in the papers, they cannot burn me at the stake. All of these years of my service towards mankind did not bring me nothing but assaults and humiliations. All those years spent in science were in vain. Please Mother, pray for me over there if you can, sing the Moorish lament for the lost soul of your poor ignorant son. Antisocial behavior is a trait of intelligence in a world full of conformists. One of the most gratifying results of intellectual evolution is the continuous opening up of new and greater prospects. Universal peace is a beautiful dream, but not at once realizable. Every effort under compulsion demands a sacrifice of life energy. I never paid such a price. On the contrary, I have thrived on my thoughts. It will soon be possible to transmit wireless messages around the world so simply that any individual can carry and operate his own apparatus. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. I have harnessed the cosmic rays and caused them to operate a motive device. To know each other we must reach beyond the sphere of our sense perceptions. No free energy device will ever be allowed to reach the market. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of his creative brain. Great moments are born great opportunity. We crave for new sensations but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races, and we are still far from this blissful realization. The spread of civilization may be likened to a fire, first, a feeble spark, next a flickering flame, then a mighty blaze, ever increasing in speed and power. It's not the love you make. It's the love you give. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. Inventors don't have time for married life. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension.